My mother held me down while my father sold me into marriage with a dangerous older man. So I escaped, exposed them, and now years later she's sick and begging me to come back, calling it family. I didn't run away because I was brave. I ran because I knew if I stayed one more day, I wouldn't make it out alive. The morning my life changed forever didn't start with screaming or violence. It started with celebration. My mother was smiling, and that should have been my first warning. In my family, smiles like that only appeared when something irreversible had already been decided, something you didn't get a say in. I was 15, and that morning they were preparing me to become someone's wife. Not a boy my age, not even close. A man old enough to have daughters older than me. A man with a past no one wanted to talk about, but everyone whispered about. 2 wives, both gone. Same story, same silence. And now it was my turn. But this didn't begin that day. It started years earlier, the moment I understood what being born a girl meant in my family. You weren't raised, you were prepared. Prepared to serve, prepared to obey, prepared to disappear into someone else's life. And the clock didn't start at 18. It started the moment your body changed. That was the signal, that was the deadline. I remember being 11 when I saw it happen to my cousin. 3 days after her first period, she was promised to a man in his 40s. No questions, no hesitation, just done. That night, something inside me didn't shatter loudly. It shifted quietly, like a switch flipping. I realized I didn't have much time, and I started doing something that probably saved my life. I stopped eating. Not because I hated food or wanted to look a certain way, but because I noticed something no one else talked about. The girls who looked weaker seemed to stay children longer, and children weren't married off. So I made myself smaller, day by day, meal by meal. While everyone praised my discipline, I was silently buying time. They called me names, said I looked sick, but I didn't care. Because every extra month, without change, meant I was still free. Still, they didn't stop preparing me. Every week felt like training, not upbringing. Hours spent serving food in silence, never making eye contact, never making a mistake. And if I did, the punishment came fast and harsh. They said it was to make me strong, to make me ready, to make me a good wife. At night, my mother would sit beside me applying creams to my skin, telling me I had to look perfect for my future. It sounded like care, but it wasn't. It was expectation. The scariest part was that I believed all of it was normal. That this was culture, tradition, something every girl had to accept. I was told girls who didn't follow this path ended up alone, unwanted, forgotten. I believed it, until one moment at school changed everything. A teacher noticed something was off. Not my grades, not my behavior, but me. I was too thin, too quiet, too controlled. She asked questions, and I gave her the usual answers. I'm fine. I'm just tired. I don't eat much. She didn't believe me, but she didn't push either. Instead, she stepped out of the room and left a drawer slightly open. Inside were pamphlets, titles I had never seen before. Words that didn't exist in my world. Your rights. Child protection laws. When culture becomes abuse. I shouldn't have touched them, but I did. And in that moment, everything I thought I knew started breaking apart. For the first time in my life, I read something that said what was happening to girls like me wasn't normal, it was illegal. There were laws, protections, people who would actually help. Teachers, doctors, counselors, people required to act if they knew. I didn't breathe while reading. Because if it was true, then everything I had been taught was a lie. I took the smallest pamphlet, folded it and hid it. From that day on, I started learning. At night, when everyone thought I was asleep, I memorized everything. Phone numbers, phrases, the exact words that couldn't be ignored. I didn't just want to escape, I wanted to know how. But I wasn't the only one who needed that knowledge. There were other girls, younger than me, just as scared. So I did something dangerous. I started teaching them. Quietly, secretly, in places no one checked. We spoke in whispers and practiced what to say if we ever got the chance to ask for help. They're forcing me. I'm underage. I'm not safe. We repeated those words until they felt natural, because hesitation wasn't an option for us. For a while, it felt like we had control, like we had a plan. Until the morning, everything changed. I was in the kitchen when I felt it, the moment I had been trying to delay for years. My body had caught up, and just like that, time ran out. My mother didn't react with concern. She was overjoyed. She called everyone. Celebration started immediately. Because to them, this wasn't the beginning of my life. It was the moment they had been waiting for. By nightfall, my husband had been chosen. No discussion, no delay, no escape. I remember standing there, surrounded by people congratulating me, and feeling completely numb. No tears, no panic, just cold realization. This wasn't something I could survive. And then it got worse. 2 days later, one of the girls I had been helping faced the same fate. Even younger, even more terrified. That night, I gave her everything I knew. Every number, every step, every chance. Tomorrow, I told her, say the words exactly. She nodded, scared but ready. I thought I still had time to figure out my own escape. I was wrong, because that same night, there was a knock on our door, and everything started collapsing. That knock didn't sound loud, but in our house, it didn't need to be. Silence followed it instantly, the kind of silence that meant something was wrong. My father opened the door, and within seconds, the air shifted. Voices, questions, authority. I couldn't hear every word, but I heard enough. Someone had reported something. Someone had spoken. My heart dropped, because I knew exactly who it was. The girl. She did it. She said the words. And for a brief second, I felt something dangerous. Hope. But hope doesn't survive long in places like that. Because the moment the people at the door left, everything inside the house turned dark. My father didn't yell right away. That would have been easier. Instead, he stood still, scanning every face in the room like he was hunting. And then he said one sentence that made my blood run cold. Someone has poisoned this house. They searched everything. Rooms, bags, corners no one ever checked. It didn't take long. My notes, what I had hidden, what I thought was safe, were found. And just like that, the hope I had built in silence went up in flames, literally. My father burned everything in front of me. Every number, every word, every chance I had created. Then he looked at me, not like a father, but like I was something to be erased. The wedding is tomorrow, he said. Not next week. Not in a few days. Tomorrow. Because now, I wasn't just a daughter. I was a problem. That night, I didn't cry. Not because I was strong, but because something inside me had already decided this was it. If I didn't leave now, I never would. I didn't have a perfect plan. I didn't have backup. I barely had anything at all. Just a few things I had been quietly preparing in case the worst happened. And now the worst was here. Morning came too fast. The house was already awake, filled with voices, movement, excitement. My wedding day. I could hear them laughing, preparing, celebrating. It felt unreal, like I was watching someone else's life from the outside. Footsteps came closer. I had minutes, maybe less. So I did the only thing I could think of. I acted. I clutched my stomach and dropped to the floor, forcing out a groan. It wasn't entirely fake. Fear has a way of turning your body against you. My mother rushed in, already dressed, already ready. Get up, she said sharply. We don't have time for this. I feel sick, I whispered, shaking. Please, I need the bathroom. She hesitated. In her world, a sick bride was a bad sign. Bad luck. Bad omen. That hesitation saved me. 5 minutes, she said. 5 minutes. That's all I needed. The moment I got inside, I locked the door and moved fast. Everything I had hidden, everything I had planned quietly for weeks, came together in seconds. The window above the bathroom was small, too small for most people. But I wasn't most people. Months of making myself smaller suddenly mattered. Outside, I could hear knocking, then banging, then voices getting louder. I didn't stop. I forced the window open, ignoring the sound, ignoring the panic rising in my chest. Open the door, my father shouted. I didn't. I climbed, scraped, forced my body through a space it barely fit, and just as the door behind me started breaking, I dropped. The fall hurt, bad, but not enough to stop me. I ran, barefoot, no direction, no plan, just away. Houses blurred past me, voices shouted behind me, doors opened, lights turned on. I didn't look back, because I knew if I did, I might freeze. And freezing wasn't an option. Not anymore. I cut through yards, jumped fences, stumbled, got back up. My feet burned, my chest felt like it would explode, but I kept going. Because every second mattered. Every step was distance. Every breath was freedom. I reached the main road, just as a bus was stopping. Luck. Pure luck. I waved frantically, barely able to speak when the doors opened. The driver looked at me, really looked, and didn't ask questions. That moment, that decision, changed everything. I got on, collapsed into a seat, and for the first time since I ran, I wasn't being chased, but I wasn't safe yet, not even close, because running away is just the first step. Staying free is the real fight. I went somewhere I had only read about, a place I had memorized, a place that was supposed to help. My hands were shaking when I walked in, but I forced the words out exactly how I had practiced them. I need protection. I'm underage. I'm being forced into marriage. This time, someone listened. Things moved fast after that. Questions, papers, people coming in and out. I didn't understand everything, but I didn't need to. Because for the first time in my life, adults weren't ignoring the truth. They were reacting to it, and that changed everything. But my family didn't stop. They didn't give up. They tried a different tactic. If they couldn't force me back, they would destroy me instead. They told people I was sick, unstable, that I had made everything up. They showed up looking calm, concerned, convincing. But they made one mistake. They underestimated how much I had learned, and how much evidence I had carried. Not on paper, but in memory. The truth started coming out piece by piece. Not just mine, but others too. Stories that had been hidden, buried, ignored. And suddenly, it wasn't just one girl speaking. It was many. And once that starts, it's very hard to stop. The day everything changed again wasn't when I escaped. It was when someone else stood up and told their story too. Because that's when it stopped being just my fight. It became something bigger, something louder, something they couldn't silence. My family lost control that day. Not because I ran, but because I spoke. And now, they don't call me daughter anymore. They erase my name, pretend I don't exist. In their world, that's the worst thing they could do. But here's what they didn't expect. I survived it. And not just me. Others did too. Because once one girl learns, she has a choice. She tells another, and another, and another. And that's something no one can control anymore.